met her, and I just wanted to be here to support her. I'm excited about this group. When I logged on, I was like, oh my God, all of the beautiful people.
Uh,
So I'm excited. I may not be able to stay the entire time, but for however long I can stay, I'm here to support and encourage. And thank you for the platform and for inviting me. And T, you know, I'm here. I'm rooting you on, girl, and everyone else that will speak tonight. So thank you for just allowing me to be here. It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful sight. It really
thank,
is.
thank you, thank you. Class, you
Mhm.
see, Queen is showing us her power all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. We better look out. So thank you,
Yeah, you better look
Ibrahim.
out for T.
I know. So Ibrahim, you are part of the family and doing some great thing. If you could just tell the work that you do in the community and the work you do with LG.
Um, Hello, everybody. My name Ibrahim Suleiman. I have many hats, but I try to use the best one, which is I'm a good student in life. In the age of 67, I like to learn from people. I walk through the community all my life since I was a child because I was put in a zone of activism, political participation, and social uh, advisor. Um, the best was I'm a communicator in sense of outreaching, community outreach coordinator. Right now, in my retirement, I'm doing two things. One is I'm in charge of ADAL Center for Study and Culture and Publishing. I did publish 7 books, one in Tigrinya, which is spoken language in Ethiopia and Eritrea. The other 6 was in Arabic. Uh, my original language, I lost my uh, mother language because my father was immigrating us from one place to another place. So I adapt Arabic as one of those language. I speak local 2 language and I speak barely English, but I'm good to listen. So let me listen now for everybody. The other things I'm doing, I'm sorry I forgot, is I'm an editor in chief for Afro Arab. You might see it since last month. Most of the groceries places where community Africans, Arabs are there. So this newspaper is bilingual in Arabic and English. We are in short in writers, and Osman was one of them who became from the one of his article from ALG. Other than that, please use me as you can if I can be of a good benefit. Thank you very much, Baba.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. And I'm going to call on Prosper. I know Prosper is fairly new in town, and this is the first time he's attending an ALG event. So Prosper, thank you so much for joining. If you could just share with the platform a little bit about you and what you look forward from listening and hearing and learning from this platform this evening, Prosper. Prosper, we cannot hear you, Prosper. We cannot hear you. I will come back to you, but yes, but we cannot hear you. I don't know if that's your mic. Amadou, if you can check with Prosper and see what's the problem over there. And I saw my sister Medina somewhere getting very casual and comfortable. So good to see you, Medina. Please, I was going to call on you, but you have history with Professor, learning from him and all these things. So if you can just introduce yourself and share a few words about your experience with the public speaking class and ALG as a family.
My name is Madina. I'm originally from Uganda. I attended the public speaking class in 2018, I think, or 2019, I don't know. 2018, yeah, in 2018. And I learned a lot from ALG. I'm an active member of ALG. And yeah, I can't wait to hear from what the students have to say tonight.
Uh, Thank you. We also have Alan Jata that's joining us all the way from Senegal, Africa. And you know, it got to be at least 2 in the morning in Senegal. So, but Alan is in Senegal and staying up this late too. Alan, please share with the family your story and with LD and why so late in Africa you tune in to be part of this conversation this evening.
Thank you very much, Fafa. Thank you, all of you. I'm very happy. I'm very emotional to see all your face. I remember 3 or 4 months ago, I was in the US during the pandemic, attending to the ALJ public speaking every single day, every single Tuesday was kind of inspirational occasion for me to learn from all of you. So I would like to thank all of you. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Alain Sinajata. I'm from Senegal. So I was in the US for the program we call International Training Program. And I was so lucky to meet the African Leadership Group, which is a very, very great family with great leaders. So I'm very happy to be here. So thank you so much, Papa. And I'm very happy to see how, powerful, how energetic is always become like when I come to the platform. So I'm very happy. I mean, that's why I'm late outside to attend and to hear what the students are really going to say. And I'm here also to encourage them and to tell them leadership is all about the serving people. So we are very happy to listen from you guys. Thank you so much, Papa.
Thank you.
And I miss you all.
Thank you, Alan. And now I'll just remind everybody, if you're not speaking, mute yourself. And obviously, we would like to hear from all the guests we have on this platform this evening. But we have a big class, and for the sake of time, I'm going to turn it over to the facilitators here. But just know that we are very appreciative and thankful that you took your time to come and support this class. But also, we want you, if you haven't taken the public speaking class, and as you hear some of the presentation, think about it. And we would love to have you as we are getting ready for the next session. And I will turn it over to Omar and Uzi and Dr. N. That's been the facilitator putting these things together. So Uzi and Dr. N, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa, and thank you everyone for sharing and joining us today from all over the world. It's just a true testament of what this organization is all about. We've impacted people from all over the world and all over the country. My name is Usman Ba, the program coordinator here at the African Leadership Group. I'm also the assistant to the public speaking class. I've happened to been part of at least 4 public speaking cohorts, and I've seen amazing people come through this program. And it's just a blessing to be part of it. I'm also joined today and tonight by my co-host, the amazing and the awesome and the great Dr. N. I'll have her introduce herself.
Thank you so much, Uzi. It is such an honor to be here with you today. I am so excited for what we are going to hear. I am so excited for what our students are going to be doing because they've worked hard. And most of all, what is exciting me even more is our family members and our friends that are here to cheer us up. So I say welcome to all of you. I see some of my my cohort fellows.
Dr. Ann.
Hi. Alain. Hi. Everybody. Papillon. Thank you so much for coming. We so appreciate you. Thank you again. And yes, let's see if they can beat us because we were the it, right?
That's right.
So let's see what happens. Once more, thank you. Please sit back and enjoy the show because it is going to be an awesome ride. On that note, I believe, Uzi, we are going to turn it over to Papa to just kick it off. Thank you.
Perfect. And before we kick off, as I remind you guys, thank you, Dr. Ann, sorry. Remember, when you're speaking, remember to unmute yourself and make sure you're unmuted. Just a reminder. Just a few housekeeping items here before we get started with the evening. most of you guys are going to be meeting most of the time. So we just want to do that to be the respectful of the presentation, the people presenting tonight, make sure there's no interruptions. But if you have any questions and if you want to give feedbacks or props at any moment, feel free to chime it in on the chat tonight. The chat is going to be live and open. And we're also live on Facebook, just letting you guys know. There's not only just us viewing you guys tonight, people all over the world are going to be viewing you guys. So letting you guys know we are live on Facebook right now. So I'm excited for that. Before we get started here, I just want to say thank you again for joining us. Please, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna want to stay to the end as the stories come in, as the presentation continues to keep happening tonight. It just gets better and better and better, and just enjoy the ride. It's gonna be fun. We have amazing students tonight. Majama always like to say, this might be the best class. So I don't know. I think my class still the best. Dr. Ann still thinks her class is the best. So each year it gets better and better and better, and that's how it is. And before I turn it over to Papa here, just making sure, Amadou, everybody should be muted by now. And just thank you again. And this all cannot be possible without one man's vision. And this man has brought communities, tribes, religions, and people from all over the world together on a platform just to share knowledge and to learn and impact communities. And this is my mentor, my coach. I can't say this enough about this man, how many people he's impacted. I've seen it over the last few years. I've been part of LG, and I just can't thank this man enough for his impact in my life and his impact in the African community here. And without further ado, introduce you guys to Papa Ja, the founder of African Leadership Group.
Thank you, Uzi. I think everything is reversed nowadays in this current world. I used to be the mentor. Now and Majama can attest to this, Evans can attest to this. We are all learning from you guys, because you just turn yourself and becoming amazing leaders. So thank you for taking your time from joining us from all over the world. And one thing I want to share about this organization, it's a family. And if you haven't been around this family, this evening you will have a testimony and get to witness what this organization is about. For those that's just attending the first African Leadership Group event, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background. But if you are interested to learn more, please, for the sake of time, visit the website usalg.org. But ALG is an organization with a primary goal to facilitate the professional integration of African immigrants through social impact, economic impact, and educational impact. Now, one thing that we always say, if you've been around this family, you always hear it, we always say, if you're not at the table, you are on the menu. And what can we do? What needs to be done for us to not only have the opportunity to be at the table, but to show up with the table with a voice? And the public speaking class is catered for that simple purpose, where we show up at the table, we show up with a powerful voice. And this has been done for so many years to build the leaders that are involved in the community. We want to have agent of change. We want to be involved in all the solution finding to our concern. We are tired of people coming and tell us what we need and trying to dictate what we need to do. We're smart, we're genius, we're great, we can do it. And this is a platform to make that happen. And you will get to hear that. But without further ado, our person that we have this evening that's going to be doing opening remark is a testimony to what I just said. He's an African like us. He came from Africa like us. He went to school, went through that journey, and today he's a real testimony of all these things. He's a writer, he's an author, he's a friend of mine, he's a mentor, and you will get to hear a little bit about him. But most importantly, I wanted him to come and share, a little bit about his journey, the thing that he has seen and where he has been. And Uzi, if you can bring the next slide for us to introduce, Evans Mensah. And as you can see, he's an author of so many different books, bestseller. And if you haven't had a chance to come across his books, I'll highly recommend you to check it out at Amazon, and ALG has some copies also. But Evans is just a true testimony of who we want to be and what this organization is about. So without further ado, please help me welcome my brother, my mentor, my friend, Evans Quincy Mensah. Evans, please, thank you so much for joining us. I know ALD has been keeping you busy. You just jumped from one platform to another, but I know also you were looking forward for this evening to get a chance to address the class and the community. Thank you, brother. Take it over.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Can you all hear me though?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Thank you very much. It is an honor. Let me say, with a short time that I have, Papa, you could have said it better. I think we've become brothers, and your family is my family. My family is your family. You know my wife, my kids, and vice versa. So thank you for the vision. And obviously, Usman, these are all my bosses, and the amazing stuff and thousands of people that you have. Thanks for the invitation. Usman, ALG team, Amadou, Laurie, and the many staff volunteers. I'm so grateful. As he said, my name is Evans Kwesi Mensah. I like the middle name because if you type in Evans Mensah, you're going to see some Evans Mensahs that are murderers, some are footballers, some are good people. I want to make sure that Kwesi is the one that's really comes to me. So don't play with that middle name. Originally from Ghana, as you know, you can see from the last name. Um, I have an interesting journey. I've been out of the continent for almost 2 decades now, almost 20 years. And I recall when I had opportunity to spend like a quarter of that in the United Kingdom, where I did my bachelor's degree in University of Greenwich. Finished 2005 and been here a year after. It's been an interesting journey being an immigrant, and not born in the Western world, and just trying to make the best of my life. I followed up. I used to work. I worked a year in Gordon Brown, Millward Brown research company. No, 2 years and a change. And that company was, obviously, I gave you the hint, the former prime minister of UK, Gordon Brown's company. So Millward, so he was the Brown and the Millward was a partner. So Millward Brown, it's still a research company all over the world. And I had opportunity to work there, work in institutions in UK, and came here to do my master's, finished 12 years ago, came 15 years ago. And it's been an exciting journey. I should say I went through this journey, had opportunity in 2008 when I finished my MBA. I remember I went to Howard University. And by the way, I served on the School of Business EMBA board as one of the youngest board members. Still, I've been there and I'm still a board member for the past 3 years to 4 years. And it's an honor to be honored as usually we don't value our own people, right? So it's an honor to be valued by my school. And without talking too much, as we know, 2008 was within the financial crunching time that a lot of people were losing jobs and opportunities. My story was different. Rather, I remember I was on F1 visa at the time. I got 2 job offers. I remember Terex in Connecticut hired me, was paying me close to 6 figures. I did not accept the offer. I didn't say yes or no. I just kept it because I had a window to think. I had another institution that was Midwest Vehicle, that's MWV in Virginia, who were almost about getting me an offer. And then a week or two later, a Tyco, TYCO, a lot of people say, is it a toy company? What? No, it's a $42 billion company that also offered me. And I knew they knew I had an offer in another company. So they offered me. I'm sharing this story to tell you, within a financial crunching that people were getting jobs, and I had this opportunity. And as an immigrant on F1 visa, meaning I needed to be sponsored at the time. On top of it, guess when they gave me these job offers? 6 to 7 months of my before I graduated. So, so I got my job offer somewhere in 2007, December and early January, when I wasn't even done with my grades. I already knew where I was going and finally chose to work in Tycoon. I went to Princeton, New Jersey, where my first son was born, who turned 10 just 2 days or 3 days ago with me. He's growing almost taller than me now. And I say all this for a reason. I worked in that company for a number of years and rose to become an executive. Moved to Pennsylvania and became a global product manager for such a company, and managing people all over and product all over. With my team, about $140 million, managing with a Tyco fire suppression company in Lansdale, and that was when my second son was born. So, and I have 3 boys. I say this to tell you something. It is possible. My life means it's possible. I can see Professor Majama watching me. I can see a lot of people, but when I see those I know them. And Dr. Ann, I ain't talking about you now because you haven't called me in a while, so we'll talk about that later. But I say this to tell you how very appreciative I am in life. And remember, I wasn't born here. That is the story you should be taking, and how my journey, and all of a sudden, got headhunted all over the country, came back and written 2 books back to back. Last year, Synergy and Commonality, the Key to Success. This year, within COVID, Beyond the Credentials. And both of them became a best-selling author, even within, what's the name, COVID, to the extent that I'm getting calls from some universities, major university right here in Colorado. They want to make it a reading book when some of the professors got hold of it. Endorsed by people from NASA, most professors all over the world. If you have a copy, you can always take a look. But I say that to encourage you that it is possible. Our stories are not meant to just be in our rooms. Our stories, we all started somewhere. And by the way, if you read part of my book, I shared a story of when I went somewhere in Canary Wharf in UK, and I worked there overnight. One night, I never went back again because I had a vision with a friend that I traveled with. And we went there, we were on a tour, and I was privileged because I went to my family, who are still in the UK, and at the time before coming to the US. So we were told, we saw this nice place. It's like Wall Street, like beautiful. I said, I'm going to work in this building. What I did not do was to specify what I was going to do in that building. I was blessed to work in that building. 2 months later, guess what? I went to clean. Oh my Lord. It was the most difficult work I'd ever done in my life. And one night, we never went back till date. So sometimes for your vision, you got to be very specific. I should have said, I want to be the CFO in that building. I want to work, and God bless me. I went to work overnight. I said, Father, I don't want it anymore. So we need to know that our visions are we need to be very poignant. Because Professor Majerma has done the most difficult part of the work. And my job tonight is I'm going to give you some tips about public speaking, because he's going through a whole curriculum with you, and I'm learning a lot from this amazing Majerma and awesome person. I should say the last one, I was in the class quietly. I tried to work behind the scenes quietly without video. I'm there quietly. And I remember Dr. Ann Keke, who is a very good friend of mine, and always shouting my name and calling me behind, say, I've seen you, Evans. I remember that class, and trust me, the last class, that was the one that I knew about, was amazing. And so I'm in a tough spot now to talk about public speaking or motivate you when I know most of you are well-spoken. But that is the point I'm gonna make. Public speaking is not how well you speak. It's not how slanging you speak. It's, it's how coherent you are. It's how you speak, and someone can understand and pick that information and move to do something. I had an amazing interview with Amadou yesterday. He was hammering me left and right on a live show. And unfortunately today, when I got him on an interview panel, my turn, it wasn't live. That wasn't fair, but we'll talk about that later. But I made the same point. And communication can be verbal or non-verbal. And that's where people, sometimes silence is speaking louder than the words that are coming out of your mouth. And for some of us who are married, you can know the difference. You know what I mean? When you're doing something and your spouse is looking at you with an eye, you know exactly what that person is telling you. You aren't having dinner tonight if you continue that attitude. I mean, I'm telling you, better stop that. A lot is going on with that without speech. So that too is communication. So we have the verbal and the non-verbal part. So let me give you some little tips. There are lurks, and we have loads of lurks and arms of communication, but just take you through 3 steps. We have the oratory types of communication, and without using big words, the speaking type of communication, right? We all know yes, we can, don't we? Who here doesn't know yes in this generation? Yes, we can. Raise your hands. If you don't know yes, we can, the slogan, yes, we can. If you all know, I want to engage you. Can you raise your hand if you all know yes, we can? By hand, please. Let's just be like children for once, guys. I know most of you are top executives. You are, I mean, VPs in your company. You are people of, but today this is ALG. Let's be family. Let's be like children for once. Now, can anybody tell me what they say before yes, we can and after yes, we can? Mostly we don't know that. Mostly nobody can articulate to you what exactly was said before. Yes, we can. And after, yes, we can. But guess what? We remember the slogan, yes, we can. Now, the other point I want to make is, we know, who doesn't know I Have the Dream? Speech by Martin Luther King Jr. We all know that speech that he said 50 years ago. It was a 15-minute powerful speech. If you listen to the entire speech. Do you know what was said before and what was said after? Mostly, about 90% of people don't know what it is, but we all know what. I have a dream. Whether he said, I have a dream, I'll be slapping you back and forth, we don't know. I have a dream. I have a dream that black and white will sit together to eat one day. It's whatever he said, we remember that I have this. So that's the oratory part, to make an impact, to cause somebody to move for action. So the question I'm asking you, whether you are, whichever angle you're going through, ask yourself, what impact are you making? Is it the oratory one? Then we move toward the business part of the impact. And this is very important. And I have even part of this, about 2% of this written in my book, Beyond the Credentials. Tip. When you're speaking to someone, you want to have an elevated speech, or you're doing a presentation, and you're speaking to someone with a marketing background, it's not because they don't like numbers or figures or percentages, but you know what they're looking for? I don't want you guys to go out to speak and say, oh, I spoke well, I dressed well, I was there, I was present, but I wasn't given the opportunity. Sometimes it could be another story to talk about later, but sometimes it's our fault. That guy doesn't have all the time. When you're speaking to someone with a marketing background, meaning you must do a research of people. If you are going to do a presentation or the group of people, make sure you focus on charts. They like charts. People with a lot of marketing backgrounds, they want numbers, but they want charts. The trend, they want to see sales chart going down, the stock market going up. They like charts. They're going to look at you and say, hey, can we have another meeting next week? What's your calendar like? Now, if you're speaking to someone from a finance background, and all the finance gurus here will attest to that, what do? Not that they don't like charts, but they like numbers and figures, percentages. Oh, the last year, our sales figure, we rose to 20%, and next year is looking like we're going to get a double of that figure, and that will be like 40%. Excuse me? 30 seconds, you caught that person's attention. They like charts, but focus more on numbers because you've done your research. They are finance people. They like numbers. When you're speaking to somebody like me, who is an operational guy, whose brain works left 360 degrees all the time, I want to hear process. How did you get here? How did you get on here? What is the process you took? Yes, I want numbers. I want how everything, but I'm more focused on process. So the tip I'm giving you when it comes to the second part of the business impact, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow brothers and sisters, is that you focus more on the impact in terms of operational guys. They like process. So you've maybe 60% of your presentation should be on the process part of it, 20% on charts, the other 20% on numbers. And I can, maybe Theo Wilson doesn't know, I know him, but I can see him there. I've been under his baptism a few times. So Theo, nice meeting you. The third part of communication, we started with oratory, which Theo is very good at. Of course, you listen to Theo, that's it. There's nothing Theo wouldn't tell you wouldn't do. That's Theo. And when it comes to business impact, those are the 3 layers under business impact that you got to do. That is the marketers, what to do, charts, finance, figures, operational process. And when it comes to personal, this is where I end on this note. When it comes to personal impact, how you show up. How you show up is important. Your outfit. Look at Papa. Look at how Papa is showing up. You think if I have $1 million to invest now, wouldn't I trust that guy? Because it's not just the dress, though. I'm metaphorically, it's how you show up and how you present yourself. And sometimes we think it's about, I've been to school everywhere, Africa, Europe, and the Americas. And I know in America, they always want to be in front. They want to talk first. Sometimes it's not how first you talk. Sometimes the best job goes to the person who sits back, listen, and then just ask one good question, how you show up. But outfit is also important because nobody invests in somebody that you don't trust. You speak well, but the person looks at you top and down. It's not insulting one, but looking at you to see, can I trust this person is critical. How coherent you speak. Because, you know, when we go do presentations and we are speaking, we like too many stories before we get to the point. That's why we lose some business opportunities. Okay? Instead of saying, you know what, I need $10,000 because my house just got damaged by a flood, and then you go with a story, we go the reverse. We go out there and we start talking about, oh, my auntie's building that I went in got burnt and flooded. And when we used the boat, we had to stay with our friend in Tennessee. By the time you finish getting to what you need, you've lost everybody. So get to the point. Now, eye contact is one of the major things. Everything I'm showing you right now, there are things I can take one, just eye contact, a whole day workshop, and how to do a work on eye contact, that alone. Everything you're getting it free now, but I'm telling you, it's a whole workshop. People pay for it. Eye contact can win you a business, can win you opportunity, can win you a second meeting, just eye contact. And by the way, I know there are cultural differences in eye contact. I've studied on this, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't just come out to become a consultant. I've worked in for-profit, non-profit. I have a for-profit company and I have a non-profit company. So I know both, right? So in certain religions, like certain maybe Muslim countries, a lady cannot look into a man's eye. I know that. That's a workshop conversation. I'll show you what to do, but eye contact in general is very important. Handshakes, how you shake somebody's hand. You cannot be shaking somebody's hand and be looking somewhere. You know, our culture, the minority culture, we have the tendency of being so divided mentally and psychologically. As we're shaking somebody, we're talking to somebody. No, it means that person you're shaking is not really taking your full attention. So it's important and very imperative to, whilst you are shaking the person, if it's a second, that eye contact goes with a handshake and how firm you shake the person, not over squeezing, not too light, all speaks a lot. I have gotten a lot of opportunities in my life by just the way I shake my hand. And someone looks at me and says, I like your firm shake. It is important. Now, you can speak through your feelings and your mood. Okay? If you look at somebody and say, how are you? You know, we are never not well, right? So every African or minority, I know this platform is not for Africans alone, it's for everybody, but I'm speaking to my fellow Africans and my minority right now to say that when they ask you, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. Obviously, your mood is saying you are not fine. So we speak through our mood. The last but not the least is character. I cannot, Papa, thanks for the opportunity, but I cannot end this short speech without not talking about character. I came here, I'm not, obviously you didn't know about me. I'm not Obama, neither am I Trump. So you don't know me, right? So obviously I'm not there yet. But the point I'm making is that I did not get here without having the right attitude, fortitude, and the right character. And it's not saying that I'm perfect. I have my challenges every day. I'm learning every day. But character is what will take you far, no matter of what you know, no matter your mindset, no matter all the knowledge, technical, soft knowledge that you have. I urge you to have the right character. I urge you to have the right mindset. And I urge you to add value in the system and enjoy the American dream. Ladies and gentlemen, ALG, Usman, Papa, of course, the founder, and all the staff, I want to thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, give me the opportunity to just speak to you. I am humbly and honored because I'm part of the family. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brother Evans. And obviously, we have everybody muted, but you can see everybody's clapping, and we look forward to having you back because you have a lot to say, and that we'll need a couple of days class. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we have an entire program, and everybody is excited to hear from the student. But this is somebody that the entire family called Professor. And one thing I want to share is, and all of you know Majama, by the way, he doesn't need introduction at all. But you know how his heart is devoted to the community. So, brother, without further ado, please take it over.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Papa. I think I'll start by expressing my gratitude to all of you. This is what we always say: whenever the community needs you, you show up. Usually this class, when we started, it's about 30, 34 attendance. Of course, life happens. You know, people get other engagement. We were down to maybe 20 something. But tonight, as you can see the attendance, we're at 63 and counting. The reason why I am especially thankful and really happy tonight is the fact that we have chosen somebody from us to be the keynote speaker. Papa knows what I'm talking about. I always talk about this when I'm talking to him in choosing, because I do not believe that we lack anything when we come together. If you cannot maybe take anything from Mr. Evans' speech, one thing is crystal clear that he repeated over and over again, that it is possible. He was not saying or telling his story to brag, but he was telling his story to let us know that it is possible. There is absolutely nothing that we can't do if we put our minds together, because indeed we are powerful. The problem is not that we are missing something. The problem is we're not aware. I would like to thank Cassandra. She wrote on the group earlier that I said that excellence is from within. You know, she reminded me of something that I believed in, but it just becomes more powerful when I hear it from somebody else. And that's what we do together. We empower each other. So this, from the very beginning, I said, you came for a public speaking class, but you will get out of it with much, much more. You will get out of it a family. And if you want to see that, just look at the other groups that we have. Public speaking class 2018, 2019, 2017, all still going, because people are actually talking to each other over there. People are reaching out to each other. So that's what we do here. The pleasure that I have is that tonight is a competition. Because as Uzi said, every single class that we have, to me, it is the best one ever. Now, you guys presenting tonight are holding the baton, and I want you to stick to it and make sure that you put to shame any other class that we ever had. My trust is in you. So Uzi, I don't think I can say much. You already warned me about the time, so I'll just end it there. Talk to Dr. N, thank them, because all of this would have not been possible were it not for the commitment of Usman and Dr. N. Because to me, they prepare and create the platform, make it possible for others to come and shine. I think what I do is absolutely nothing. The work that they do in the background is way more important, and you will see some of it tonight. So guys, let's just jump right into it. Thank you so very much for attending. Uzi.
Professor, thank you so, so much. You know we love you. We appreciate you. And you are right. Tonight it's on, because just by looking at the screen, I see at least 3 cohort. But I can tell you this, cohort number 7 still shines. So let's see if cohort number 8 is gonna really take the light from us. But today, I just want to tell you, you can sit back and watch the awesome work in this midterm of cohort number 8. They have worked hard. So let's all sit and smile and make them feel so good. I am honored to introduce to you the very first fellow of this cohort. That is Mr. Suleiman Batili. He is talking to us all the way from Senegal. Just like Papa was saying, it is 2 a.m. Now that's commitment. Mr. Batili is going to speak to us about bridges. Should we burn bridges to succeed? That is his topic. Without further ado, without further notice, please, Suleiman, the floor is yours. Do it, my brother.
Where is Suleiman? Suleiman, you are muted.
Amadou, can you unmute Suleiman?
Find him, but
His name is showing as Ibrahim above, but he's here.
okay, Ibrahim. Okay, I got him. Yeah,
Hi, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
My name is Suleiman Bachili. I'm in Senegal right now, 2 a.m., but I'm excited to be here. First of all, I would like to thank the team. It's a family. We share a lot of values. We would like also to thank Professor, thank Papa, Usman, all the team for the amazing job that they've been doing. It's such an honor to be here today. Should we burn bridges to succeed? It's an interesting topic. If you ask people what they want out of their life, almost everyone will tell you in some way that they want to be successful. I'm putting $100 on the table. What is success? Can anybody tell me what is success? To me, the most important thing that matters is whether or not you meet the expectation that you set for yourself. Should we burn bridges to succeed? Or should we build bridges and use them to change people's lives, impact people's lives, impact our communities? I was born in Senegal. After I graduated from high school and college with an MBA degree, I decided to come to the United States of America, the land where everything was possible. When I got into New York, JFK, I roughly had $45 in my pocket. The $40 helped me to take a cab from JFK to Brooklyn, and the $5 to grab my first sandwich. And my first question was, what the hell just happened, Soleil? What did you do? In 2 weeks, I had to find my first job. Otherwise, I was going to be homeless. It was a part-time job. When I handed my resume to my first manager, he told me what an MBA is doing in retail. But I didn't have no option because I didn't have no clue about what was going on in America. It was the biggest challenge for myself. And my family expected me also to become successful. But what was really success? He introduced me to a young guy. His name was Adam. He's a Mexican guy. He didn't have an MBA degree. He didn't went to school. But all he had was knowledge, very strong product knowledge. And the first lesson he taught me was how to be humble. We opened up a huge show that was completely empty. And he called me, hey, Sule, Mr. MBA, can you show us how to set up this store? I was clueless, but I knew exactly where I wanted to go. And how to get there was to make sure that I humbled myself in front of Adam and learn every single thing from him and master it. That's why I never believe in burning bridges to succeed. You gotta be ready to learn things from ground zero, from the bottom up. Because once you're up there, you're gonna be lonely, and only knowledge will help you to be successful. Should we burn bridges to be successful, to succeed? I don't believe so. When I got my first part-time job, my main focus was to secure my rent for my room. And the only way I could do that is to make sure my product knowledge was strong, even if French was my primary language. What I did, start flipping the shampoos, the conditioner, the leave-in conditioner, learning the ingredients to know exactly what combination is for this type of hair or that type of hair, and to speak about it and be confident when we have customers walking in our stores. That helped me 6 months later to be promoted as an assistant manager. At that stage, my focus was to make sure I'm developing my leadership skills. Every book that I see talking about leadership, talking about teamwork, talking about developing your people was basically everything I was focused on. And my teammates helped me to improve my English as well. And one day I was watching Oprah Winfrey. She said something that was extremely important. Turn your wounds into wisdom. I didn't understand what she meant. I know the road was going to be bumpy. It was going to be hard. But the only thing that can save you is to remember those days and set higher goals for yourself and make sure the knowledge is there and make sure every single day you improve up everything you do, not for yourself, but to serve your people and your community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Suleiman. What a powerful story. From $40 and $45 to now traveling all over the world. What a beautiful story. Next,
You
we
did it
have the
again, man.
amazing Queen.
You just did it again. Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful. Um, Now we have the amazing Queen joining us from Memphis, Tennessee. As we said, mentioned earlier, this class is very diverse. We have people from New York, Africa, and people here internationally, locally. So Queen is joining us from Memphis. Welcome, Queen. Oh, Queen, we can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself? Unmute yourself, please, Queen. What's
Uzi,
the?
Amadou might have to unmute her. I don't know if you guys muted everybody.
Okay, am I good now?
Yes.
Okay, this better not count on my time. I'm just saying, it's important. I want to start out by thanking my friends that showed up today, Alicia, Tanya, Stephanie, my brothers here, Jara, my mom, of course, my husband, and most importantly, Tasha from the last cohort, without whom introducing me to Papa, I wouldn't even be here. And Professor, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. Tarsha, I love you, but I just want to let you know our class is the bomb. So let's go. I'm gonna share a story with you guys that had such a great impact on my life. It's a story about a donkey. There was a farmer in Tennessee that started out on his farm with one donkey. And this was a very, very faithful donkey and worked really, really hard and helped this farmer build his wealth and build for him to have a big farm and just prosper. They've been together for many, many years, and this donkey was getting old. And one day he was walking around on the farm and he fell in a water well. While he was in the well, he was scared and he thought, oh, I'm going to die. Nobody's going to find me. And he kept screaming and screaming and screaming for help, and no one came. And eventually his owner was looking for him, and he heard him screaming, and he went to the well and tried to rescue him. He sent him a rope, and the rope broke. He sent him a ladder, and the ladder broke. Anything he tried, it wouldn't work. He went and got the neighbors to see if there was a way to get him out, and they couldn't. Finally, the farmer said, he's getting old. There's no way we can get him out. So let's just put him out of his misery. And the well is dry. We don't use it anyway. So let's just put dirt on him and bury him there. He was sad. Everyone got a shovel and started picking up dirt and throwing it on him. And picking up dirt and throwing it on him. And when the dirt kept hitting the donkey's back, he realized what they were doing. And he was so hurt after all these years that he has worked and helped this farmer to grow and prosper. And now he was just giving up on him and willing to let him go. Every time the dirt hit his back, he just shook it off. And the dirt kept falling in and absorbing the water underneath him. And all of a sudden, he realized every time they shoveled dirt and he shook it off, he could step up. And they kept shoveling the dirt and he kept shaking it off and stepping up. Eventually, the well filled up and the donkey got to the top and he jumped up and ran off. When I heard this story, my first thought was, that donkey must be from Africa, because the fact that it used everything that was supposed to kill it to its advantage and jumped out and run to his future to declare victory. Yeah, I love this story so much because it reminds me of what it means to be African. A story of hard work, survival, resilience, innovation, and victory. I know those traits are not exclusively reserved for just us Africans. It seems that we are the ones who use them the most and for the longest, though, I have to say. In the story, the donkey was the first one on the farm. And in life, we Africans were the first ones on earth. We came from the cradle of humanity. We are the builders and innovators way before the world noticed our strength. We've had to survive colonization, famine, disease, and poverty. So being an African means being strong, being resilient, and being a survivor. The donkey in the story was the hardest working donkey on the farm and helped the farmer build the wealth. You know, as evidenced by the rock-hewn churches of Ethiopia, the walls of Great Zimbabwe, the Great Mosque of Janneh, Mali, the Nubian pyramids of southern Sudan, and of course the pyramids of Giza in Egypt. Now everybody probably knows about just those. We're not afraid of hard work. Being African means being a hard worker, a smart worker with goals. The proof is in the data. If you see the last census data, Africans are becoming the leaders and being the most educated group of immigrants. This is something you can Google and see. Most of us come here as refugees and immigrants, having taken advantage of the very thing that was supposed to kill us. Every time the world throws dirt at us to bury our true history under colonization and famine and poverty, we shake it off and we rise up, because deep in our DNA, we know the truth. The history of colonization is only less than 150 years, but Africans have a history of building kingdoms and dynasties. They ruled the world going back thousands of years. Being an African means understanding our undeniable contribution to the human race in every aspect of life, sharing our culture, fashion, music, natural resources like gold and diamond, cocoa, and coffee. I can go on and on. And doing it all dressed in colorful clothes with beautiful smiles, singing and dancing, and absolutely not looking like what we've been through. Being African is truly shaking off the dirt and stepping up every day and every way. Thank you.
Y'all, I told you it was on. I told you. My queen, I bow down. I bow down. I told you it was on. This was majestic. Thank you so much for bringing chills and tears to our eyes. Yes, you are the Mama Africa of C8. Indeed, but don't take it for granted, because the real Mama Africa is here. She was C7. So yeah, okay. I'm just saying, putting it out there. Professor.
Well, I mean, let's just carry on, because if I start talking, man, you won't be able to cut me off. I am so excited, because that was only yesterday that she was still trying to find an end to the donkey story. You know, today, we'll talk. Let me just be quiet. That's right. I am overjoyed right now. I am overjoyed. Let's carry on, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I cannot continue without giving a shout out to my personal mayor, Dr. Omar Montgomery. I see you. Thank you for representing the NAACP. We appreciate you here at ALG. Also, Brother Barkley Jones, we love you. Thank you for showing up. Strong members of the community, and we really appreciate them. Now, I do have the pleasure to introduce to you my own brother from another mother, Amadou Dieng, and he's gonna bring down the house as well. Take it away, my brother.
thank you, Dr. Ann. And wow, what a great
Amadou,
speech.
your mic is very low.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
A little bit better so we can hear you. You just need to speak louder.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Dr. N, and thank you everybody for being here today. What a great speech that just was. Queen, you did such a great job. Suleiman as well. I'm not sure if I can follow that, but my topic today is about the power of community service. Uh, in a bit, I will tell you about community, what it means to have a community, what the importance of service is, and I will also tell you about how community service have shaped my life and made me the person who I became today. But before we get there, I would like to, while am doing my speech, please think about this question and put your answer on the chat. If you think about if you think about legacy, what comes to your mind? When you think about legacy, what comes to your mind? As we talk about community service, there are two words here that are really important. It is community and it is service. When we talk about community, a lot of people can think about leaders, they can think about organizations, they can think about businesses, they can think about buildings. But leader or community, to its simplest form, simply means a sense of belonging. A sense of belonging, being a part of something, feeling that you are a part of it, acclaiming it, and in return, being acclaimed by that community. A service can be defined by the act of helping or the act of doing something. Here's how community service shaped my life. I was born in Senegal, West Africa. I was born in Dakar, the capital. When I was 5, I was moved from Dakar to a town, a small town in the north that is about 40 minutes, about 15 kilometers away from the Sahara Desert. When I went to this town, there was only elementary school that was available in that town. Once you were after elementary school and you had to go to middle school, you then had to move to another town or you'd have to walk if or if your parents could afford it, you could take a car and go on a 20 minutes ride to go to middle school every single day. It is because of community service and people who believed in community. Most of these people were immigrants who left this town, went to work in other towns or went outside of the country, who came together and put together the little money and the little changes that they had to build a middle school in that town. So by the time I had graduated elementary school and going to middle school, community service and people who believed in community had already built a middle school for me to be able to go to school. By the time I graduated middle school, these people had already built they had already built a high school in that same town. That high school did not only serve me, it also served towns that surrounded my town. So now people, instead of having to go 45 kilometers or move from one town to another in order to afford a high school degree, had the ability to come there. It is not the work of any government. It is the work of everyday, ordinary people who believed in their power, who belonged to a community, claimed that community, and helped that community came together to build what is there right now. And here is how community service has shaped who I am today. Not only did it afford me the education that I was able to have, it helped me find and define myself. Because community service has helped me so much in my life, as I was growing up, I understood the importance of it. And so when I was in middle school, we had an organization that was trying to make sure that the people who were going into elementary school and who couldn't afford their It's not a scholarship, but who couldn't afford to buy their materials that they needed for school were able to afford that. And so we started writing what we call soutien. There is no equivalent in it. We could call it a informal grant where you would write a letter and you'd write about what you needed, why you needed it, and send it to somebody who you thought could be able to help you. We did that. When I was in high school, I was elected the student body government, the student body president. And as I was elected the student body president, we also continued this into the high school. This is how I became the writer that I am today. This is how I discovered that I could write, and that by writing, I could help my community. It was by writing these informal these informal grants or these informal scholarships that we were able, in 2018, when I moved here, we continued doing that. We were able to get together over 1,600 notebooks and raise over $800 that we sent back to that small village that gave me the education that I have. And because of that, we were able to make sure that 100 kids were able to go to school and stay in school for 2 more years. It is through writing and it is through the events that we organize that we could not have the money to afford somebody to MC. That was the first time that I was given a mic. It was the first time that I was given a mic to stand in front of people and be able to speak. It was not my best performance. In fact, it may have been my worst performance in public ever. But it is because I repeated it, and I had to do it because we were doing community service and we could not afford the money to pay anybody else to do it. Community service helped me discover that by the simple acts of writing and picking a mic, whether it is doing a documentary, whether it is inviting somebody and talking to them, but being able to pick up that mic and talk to people, pick their minds, and so that other people can benefit it, can change your community. Earlier, when I started my speech, I asked you if somebody talks about the word legacy, what comes to your mind? Community service is the building of true legacy, because the people who built those schools that I went on to get the education, and many people are getting the education in those schools right now, I do not know many of their names. But many of them are not here today. Their legacy is still living, and it is a never dying legacy. Every person that goes through those schools and those establishments is able to get their knowledge or is able to get formation and get the skills that they need. As long as that person is living, passes on that skill, that is still their legacy. It is because of their community service. It is because of their belief in that community that these people today are out here, have their degrees, and are making change in that, not only in their communities, but are impacting a lot of people around the world today. So as you think about your legacy and the legacy that you want to leave in this world, please think about community service and how you can impact those around you. Thank you.
Wow. Amazing. The power of community service. One thing I want to leave with you guys as well is one of my favorite quotes is, service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. And you've left your legacy here already. You put a blueprint there. And I've been a witness of watching you grow the past few years and the impact you've had as on the kids' life that you work with, the impact you've had with your writings and with your TV shows. It's just amazing. You're just starting your legacy, and I'm honored to be part of that legacy. Thank you. Thank you, Amadou. That was a great speech. And now we move on. As I said, this class is very diverse. We have different age groups. We have 16-year-olds. We had 18-year-olds. We have college students. We have professionals. Now we have one of the youngest members of the cohort this year. He's a college student, and he's gonna really touch on the fit. Give me a second here. And Joanne is, let me see, I'm trying to multitask here. Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet, Uzi.
Can you see it?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Perfect. No, perfect. All right. The topic he's touching on today is failing forward, and as I said, he's done an amazing job, and I'm excited to see this presentation. Go ahead, Joanne, take it over.
Hey, thank you for supporting me. I wanted to say thank you for my mom for supporting me also, because without her, I wouldn't find out about this class. So thanks to her. So my topic is failing forward. To fail forward means to purposefully use failure to find success. It's a conscious process that requires us to give up the need to be perfect. When we try to be perfect, we limit our ability to grow because we stay in our comfort zone and avoid risks. The basis of failing forward is to get better at mitigating risk and at the same time not to hold ourselves back. To fail forward, we must do or try something new, something we want to do but we're afraid to do. My basketball journey started at my second year of high school. My usual sport is soccer, but I wanted to try a new sport, which is basketball, since most of my friends play it. So I gave it a try by signing up for the basketball tryouts. When I walked in, when I walked in the gym on the first day of tryout, the varsity guys were staring at me saying, "Johan, this is not your sport. Just stick to soccer. You will never make it on the team because you don't play basketball." I gathered all these thoughts in my head and I was scared because I did not have the courage to step on the court. On the second day of tryout, the basketball coach was so speechless of how bad I was playing. So he just told me to go home and don't bother coming back on the third day of tryout. Somehow, I still had the courage to go to the gym the next day to watch my friends play so I can learn how basketball works. When practice ended, I asked the coach if he can write all the mistakes I've made and things that I'm good at and bad at so I could learn from it. So when I got all those emails, when he gave me the emails about the workouts I could do so I can get better at, I went to the gym the next day and I worked on myself. I was going to the gym almost every day and even skip a class once just to work more on myself. I was working so hard that I even twisted my ankle. So when on my third year, which is my junior year, when the next season came, I was so confident in myself and I knew I was going to be on the team this season. On the first day of tryout, the same coach that didn't want to see me again pulled me to the side and told me that he was proud of me of how the hard work I put in just to be in the place I got this season. So basically, failing forward is about doing what it takes, all the risk to doing what you got to do to be at the top. The important thing is that you're doing for something big to happen. You're not just doing it to repeat the same mistakes over and over, but to actually get results from it. Thank you.
Joanne, thank you so much for this awesome speech. Thank you so much for encouraging us and letting us know that failure is not the end of the road. Appreciate it. Hearing it from the younger of the crowd, perhaps, really brings it home. Thank you again. And moving on, I do want to give a shout out to my brother all the way from Mali. It is 2 a.m. there. Mr. Sheikh Oumar Doumbia. Sois le bienvenu, Sheikh. Merci d'être là. Thank you so much for being here. Also, my brother from Ethiopia, Sam Michael, thank you so much for coming and supporting the community with your presence and your people. We really do appreciate you as well. Now, we are going to move forward and continue enjoying this wonderful community. The next person that will be talking is Ms. Tamika Coleman. Tamika, thank you so much for talking to us about the fear of success. Do it, sister.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank my family and friends who are all on the Zoom call with my support, so thank you so much. I won't be before you long, but I will be before you strong. Let me ask you a question. What does fear mean to you? But yet, what does success mean to you? Let's take a look at the definition of these two words, shall we? Webster's dictionary defines fear as concern about what may happen or worry. In the same dictionary, Webster defines success as satisfactory completion of something.
Tamika,
Now,
I'm so sorry to interfere here, but what you're saying is so important, but there's the breakout on, I don't know if it's because of the connection, whatever, but yeah. So, but that's fine. But at the end, we could hear you. Please carry on.
It is the connection, yes. You can try again.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So,
much better.
Awesome. Webster's dictionary defines fear as concern about what may happen or worry. Thank you. It also defines success as satisfactory completion of something. Now, when I got this topic, fear of success, I'm sure maybe 50 of you may have seen my eyeballs pop out on I-270 in Denver because this topic hit so close to home for me. I remember reading in the book Think and Grow Rich, the author Napoleon Hill in chapter 15 states that indecision is the seedling of fear. The fear of success creates accountability. The fear of success creates risks, and the fear of success creates expectations. One may liken it unto a successful relationship, maybe marriage or being single, for example. With the fear of success creating accountability, your spouse or your partner holds you accountable for everything that you say and do. Whereas being single, you have no one that will hold you accountable. Therefore, you can do whatever you want. You could do whatever you could say whatever you want. With the fear of success creating expectations in a successful marriage, your spouse or your partner expects you to honor those vows. They expect you to be there through thick and thin, richer and poorer, etc. However, in a successful single relationship, the expectations are out the window because you undoubtedly have to be there by yourself and for yourself. Being successful means different things to different people. For example, me and my husband, we talk all the time, and this conversation always comes up, and he would ask me, don't you want to be successful and have your own business one day? And I'm like, why? You see, my husband comes from a family-owned business. They're all entrepreneurs. He comes from Michigan. He started working at the very young age of 7. I, on the other hand, I've had both parents working 9 to 5, with my mom mostly doing double shifts in that she was a waitress. So my mom painted a picture of success to me, and that was to work, clean, cook, go to church, read. So to me, that was very successful. But my husband saw something in me. He saw me so much more successful than I was. And it was in that very moment that I decided, you know what, I'm going to ditch fear and date success. It was in that very moment that I decided I'm going to turn my negative thoughts into positive ones. We all heard the acronym for FAIR, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. I decided to flip the script, have my own acronym, F-E-A-R, forget everything and run. Run into the arms of success, run into the arms of accountability, risks, and expectations. Thomas Edison said, I have been failed sometimes. I just simply found those ways that did not work. Now, what's my take on fear, you ask? Anything that takes me away from my security, my safety blanket, taking me away from walking a step when I know there is no step. Similar to Peter walking on water. And I decided to take a closer look within myself and break and shatter the ceiling of limitation. Theodore Roosevelt puts it so perfect. He says, it is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed. Thank you.
Wow, that was powerful, powerful. Fear of success. Now, I don't know if you guys, did you guys catch that? I'm a ditch fear and date success. Wow, that is quotable right there. I'm gonna have that. That was beautiful. Next, we have Cedric joining us from Texas. The amazing thing about this program this year is that we went virtual, and with the virtual, it created more opportunities for us to share this powerful platform with people across the nation. And as you guys already seen, we have people from Memphis, Texas, and Tamika is living in Florida right now as well. So it's just amazing how this platform has reached across the nation. And Cedric will be talking about the power of perseverance. Go ahead, Cedric.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Thank
sir.
you for being here. Thank you for being here and giving me the opportunity to share a word with you tonight. People say the fastest and the shortest route to go from point A to point B is a straight path. Now the question is it always true? So let's think about it for a moment and we'll come back to it later down the road. Tonight we'll be talking about the power of perseverance. Life is full of challenges. And what might seem easy and obvious for someone might be difficult and challenging for someone else. Usually before graduation, student dreams of how much money they be making, how they be valued at their job, and how they give them, all the opportunities that they will have and all the privilege that they will have. But that's not always the case, particularly for me. After graduating, I sent application everywhere, but still nothing came positive. And my family decided to move to Texas. So, and we wanted to move in our own house. But one challenge was that one of the lenders said that one of us has to get a job in Texas before we can qualify to, to be able to buy a house. So, and I've seen application, still nothing. So my wife had a good job in Colorado as an accountant. And I am the one who's supposed to look for a job in Texas. So I sent application, nothing came back. Months have passed, nothing. And I was so frustrated and pressure also. And the position that were given to me were just equipment operator. And meaning that the job was going to be very hard, physically and emotionally challenging. And that's not what I was expecting. That's not what I went to school for. I was hoping for to have a dream job, getting good, good pay and work easily. But And and since I was precious, the only option that I had was just to take the job offer, which was equipment operator. So honestly, my feelings were very mixed, because on one hand, I knew the challenges that I was going to face, because of the hard work that come with it, considering the position. And on the other hand, I had this a feeling of an opportunity. First of all, to be qualified to get it, to buy our own house, and second of all, to learn the job, because I was going to start at the bottom of the ladder. And I remember a wise man said that it's always better to start at the bottom of the ladder, because then you can have opportunity to, the only opportunity that you might have is just to move up. And then you have opportunity also to learn the job from the bottom up. And then you'll be more valuable to a company. And and I think that I took a chance, and I didn't lose my focus to work as as an engineer, but at least I was already in the house. I didn't give up, I didn't lose my focus, and I was persistent. I took all the humiliation that came with it, because so when you're at the bottom of the ladder, so everybody just try to tell you what to do. And it's more frustrating because those people who are telling you what to do are the people that in normal circumstances, you are the one who's supposed to give them the orders. But now you're taking orders from them. So it was very, very challenging, very frustrating too. But since I so I had no other choice than to do it. Then I had the opportunity to learn the job. Then that went on up to like 2 years. Then finally the position came up, the opportunity showed up. And nobody in my team knew who I really was until that day. So when I went for the job interview, the district manager, the engineer district manager was so impressed. He said that he's very proud of me, that he didn't know that I was who I am, that I went through all that humiliation and frustration for almost 2 years without quitting or complaining. And that reminded me of Mr. Ban in the book, Think and Go Rich, who didn't quit after facing all the challenges that he was facing during his career. And he applauded me, and he said that that is very proud of me, and that I told him that, okay, you know what, I didn't quit because I have a goal. I knew what I was doing, and I don't give up because because I went to school for a purpose, and now I know the job, I know all part of the job, so I can be more valuable to this company right now than if I were just started as like in managerial position, because study from the bottom up gave me more opportunity to learn, and now I know the job, and he was so proud of me. So now to come back to the question that I was asking previously. So is the fastest? Okay, so hold on. So is the fastest and the shortest route, is it always the straight path? So to me, it's not always the straight path, because it took me almost 2 years to be where I was. Because in normal circumstances, you just go from college to engineering position because that's what you went to school for. So that was supposed to be a straight, so that was supposed to happen right away. But for me, it took me almost 2 years. And it's not always the straight path, because in between, from point A to point B, there might be challenges that you have to face, and those challenges cause some delay. So that's what I have to say tonight. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cedric, for reminding us of the power of perseverance.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Miguel Mendoza. We appreciate you being here, and we also appreciate your support to ALG. Thank you again for showing up tonight. Moving forward, moving on, I do want to bow down to our next speaker, right? This is Mr. Kabu Moti. See, he's married to our queen. So, my king, take it away.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Mic check, mic. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Kabu.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Kabu.
In 2006, my father-in-law got sick and he got cancer. The doctor told him he has 6 months to live. And the whole family was sad about the news. But he didn't give up immediately. He started taking his treatment after 3 or 4 months, he started losing his energy, being tired. When he went to the doctor office, I always went with him. He is not only my father-in-law, he was my best friend. We talk a lot. Every time I was around him, he makes me feel a happy person. I learned a lot of things. One day, my mother-in-law called my wife, told she need help, and they start looking to hire a nurse to come to work at their house. I told my wife, I'm going to talk to my manager to give me some off days to help out your mom. And she said, are you serious? I told her, when we got married, I said, I do for many things, right? She said, yes. I told her, this is one of them. And I went to my workplace and talked to my manager. And I took a month off without pay. I was able to be with my father-in-law the whole time until he passed away. I miss him very much. I did this for myself, not only for my wife or her family. I know it would give them relief. You have to understand how important that is, to go all the way, to go the extra mile, to do a thing in such a way that is force people to take a note of you. Going the extra mile provides additional service with the highest possible quality. You are giving your time, effort, compassion, kindness, support, and positivity results, and you become more compassionate, kinder, more supportive, and positive. The energy takes you everything you do. Napoleon Hill says, one of the most important principles of the success is developing the habit of going the extra mile. When you go extra mile, some people, family, friends, co-workers, try to pull you down. Don't listen to them. Believe in yourself. President Barack Obama said, yes, we can, which means whatever you want to do, yes, you can. Don't give up until you get there. Don't stop even when you get there. Try to go another extra mile. The other thing is, don't do it for others, because you can't make people happy all the time. Do it for yourself. When you do it for yourself, you will be satisfied and proud. There is a quote saying, everybody stand, but you must stand out. Everybody's breaking ground, but you must break through. Everybody's scratching, but you must scratch it hard. Everybody's going, but you must keep going extra mile. Wakanda forever.
Wow. I salute King. Oh, salute King. Wakanda forever. Rest in peace, Jasper. All right. Oh my gosh, what another powerful speech. Like I said, you guys are in for a treat. It's going to continue to go. Come, just fasten your seatbelt. It's getting tight. Before I move forward, I just want to give a shout out to Yabu. He's joining us from Senegal. Like I said, we have people here internationally joining us today, and it's late up there, and they're just enjoying the show today. And thank you, Yabu. Thanks for joining us. And as we continue here, I want to bring on the next queen, talking about the power of imagination. And without any further ado, let me just introduce you guys to Sika. Miss Sika.
Uzi, maybe you might announce the next speaker so that they can turn on their mic like maybe 3 minutes before the end of the current one. That way we can avoid the dead silence in between.
Perfect. Alrighty, before Sika, after Sika, we're gonna have Ahmed, Mr. Ahmed Sise. And Sika, if you have any issues, just let me know. And for you guys that's been joining us, you guys have been hearing over and over again, Think and Grow Rich, Think and Grow Rich. And that is the book that we've been reading the first half of class. It's by Napoleon Hill, and it's been amazing. We've used it for years with different cohorts, and it's just really a motivational book, and it really just helps you grow as an individual. I know I've read it, and it's every time you read it, it gives you different perspective and different meaning. And this class has done an outstanding job. We finished the book already. And as you can see throughout tonight, that's gonna be a theme, and they're gonna reference it every time. So and I highly recommend anybody that hasn't read the book, please go check it out. It's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I know Sika just logged back on. I know she was just having some connection issues. And just
hi everyone.
Hey Sika.
My speech tonight is about the power of imagination. First, let's define imagination. Imagination is a mental picture of something unreal. Imagination becomes powerful when you turn that idea into manifestation. Like John Muir said, the power of our imagination makes us infinite. Since I was a little girl, my dream was to be the owner of an event planning empire. But losing both of my parents the same year was the big challenge of my life, and I have to stop school. In America, I started working a low-rate job to settle myself, but I never lose the idea of my dream. The power of my imagination pushed me not to lose focus on what I want to do later. I start taking classes like the public speaking class to make myself better. So I would say today, I'm on the right track to achieve my dream. God gives us the power to control our thoughts and imagination. Your parents, your friends, your mentor, I might be there for you, but to advise and guide you, but you are the owner of your success. Doesn't matter the pain you're going through. We all have challenges. Believe on yourself. Start working on that imagination today. When you fail, start all over. Don't wait for a long time. Surround yourself with a positive thinker. Faith, courage, persistence are the key leading you to realize the power of your imagination. I mean, your success. That is my point on the power of imagination. Thank you, everyone.
Speaker, you just set the house on fire. Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's not stop dreaming, right? I want to give a shout out to my own brother, Jamal Bowen, my partner in crime, Alphonse Nembat, and Mr. Tigwa. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting us. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to board member, Max Diop. Thank you so much for being here. Our next speaker is going to be Mr. Ahmed Sise. Ahmed, take it away.
Thank you. So my topic is how to build resources from professional resource on life. It doesn't matter where you come from. It is only matters where you're going. Your past is important, but it is not important nearly as your present as the way you see your future. As we know, most progress take place outside our comfort zone. But if you put into practice the quality of compassion, dedication, commitment, character, and skills, you will have a better opinion of professional success life. I have been working for my organization for the past 15 years. I started as a bus driver. We are one of the largest transportation company in the world with 210 divisions here in the US and one division in all the major countries in the world. After driving buses for a couple of years, I started dreaming and thinking what I can do to move up, how I can set myself up to move up. So first, I made time to study all the policies and procedures and code of business conduct. Second, I made time again to get all the certification offered for the company. Third, I made time and commitment to get certification for all the major safety compliance company in the United States, like FTA, ODAPSI, NTI, TSI, OSHA, FEMA, and so on and so on. So dreaming alone is not enough. You need to take a step further and use your imagination to visualize it with content. So after those skills and experience, I start believing myself. And I find that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. So I drove buses for 4 years, became instructor for 2 years, trainer for 2 years, safety and training supervisor for 5 years, training manager for 1 year, and became a safety and security manager for the last 3 years. The road was bumpy. However, I also understand that whatever you like to get in life, it never comes so easy. So I overcome the fear of criticism. So don't let the fear of losing be greater than the excitement of winning. If you have reached the apex of opportunity within your organizations, it's because the skills that make the difference. Skills are the hammers that help you break through ceilings. Skills are the hammers that help you break through a ceiling. You will never stop in any lousy situations if you are continually learning some new stuff. So I went outside my comfort zone and start implementing some new ideas, some safety best practices, like sending daily safety message every day to all the drivers, publishing safety newsletter every month, making some monthly safety contests, annual safety contests. And those implementation help us to improve our overall performance. And over division reach out to us to share those ideas. Because it doesn't matter what to do if you don't do what matters. So what matters is very, very important for you to grab a ladders. So if you can dream it, you can do it. Don't be distracted by criticism. And remember, the only taste of success some people get is to take a bite of you. Allocate your time to shine and never give up on what you truly desire to do. And thank you. Happy and healthy New Year to everybody. Thank you.
Yes, that's a mic dropper. You could drop the mic now. Mr. Ahmed, he said, drop the mic, drop the mic. Man, a powerful speech. Thank you. Just I feel empowered right now.
That's
really.
my shit.
Wow. And before we move forward, I just want to give a shout out to fellow cohorts, Herman and also Velva joining us today. And also Mama Africa, I see you.
Who, me?
Thank you. As we move forward, as I said, the stories are going to get better and better. Let's continue. Let's stay in put right now. Just thank you guys again. We have an amazing crowd and everybody's still here. So fasten those seatbelts, as I mentioned. And next, as I mentioned, we have different age groups here. We have the youngest member of this cohort at 17 years old, doing amazing things. She's already in college, and she's at the age of 17, graduated high school early. No other than Busu, and she is gonna talk about success is a journey, not a destination. Let's go.
Let's go, Busu.
Good evening, everybody. Success is a journey, not a destination. Success is the accomplishment of one's goals and endeavors. Earl Nightingale defined success as the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That can mean different things to different people. To some people, it may mean becoming a billionaire, and to other people, it may mean having a car to drive to work. But regardless of one's perception of success, it's important to understand that it's infinite, it's never ending. And it's not defined by what we achieve, but what we do to achieve it. Success is considered to be a journey because throughout every journey, we experience hardships and failure. From these, we become more resilient and we understand what does and does not work for us. We gain new perspectives, which allows us to increase our success. Napoleon Hill said that with every adversity, every heartbreak, and every failure carries with it a seed of equal or greater success. From every failure, we are left with new knowledge of habits that contributed to that failure and habits that contributed to overcoming that failure. With this knowledge, we're able to grow as people and become more successful. Knowledge and success go hand in hand. Learning is considered to be lifelong, just as success is. As you develop your overall knowledge, not just specialized knowledge, you increase your success. You are more equipped to identify new perspectives and understand what will work for you and what will not work for you. You are able to increase your knowledge by expanding on other topics, which could be related to a specific specialty or unrelated to a specific specialty. You must always try and outdo yourself. This is how you never stop becoming successful. I love basketball, but 4 years ago, I did not know that I loved basketball. I saw a sport on a page and thought, hey, this will be fun. I was terrible, absolutely horrible. I couldn't dribble 2 steps in front of me, and I definitely couldn't shoot. I knew it and my family knew it, but for some reason, I couldn't bring myself to stop. I used to swim and I swam for 10 years and was great at it. But regardless of all the people telling me I should pursue swimming because I'm better at it, I've done it for longer, I know it much better, I knew that in my heart, it wasn't what I was meant to do. I wasn't passionate about it. I wasn't willing to put in the same amount of work I was willing to put into basketball. I soon found myself I soon found myself 5 months later working, getting up at 5 a.m., dragging my brother, my dad, and my sister, my brother to the gym. And while they were working out, I would train myself in basketball. I was my coach and my motivator. And a couple months later, I was able to make 8 out of 10 jump shots, 7 out of 10 threes, and do 3-in-1 combo moves. For me, this was unimaginable because I was the one training myself. I knew at this point that this was something that I truly loved. I was my coach and my motivator. I remember having people come up to me, give me advice and pointers, what I can work on to become better, and tell me that I had the potential to become amazing and that I would be amazing because I had the motivation and drive. And I understood that. At this point, I had reached and surpassed all my goals, but I never stopped because success is a journey and not a destination. A year and a half later, I continue to train and coach myself, and I try and develop my knowledge on the game as best as I can because I know that I'll never stop becoming successful. I know that as long as I maintain my habits and continue to increase my knowledge, my success will be boundless. Thank you.
Now that's what I call smooth operator. Thank you so much, Buso. Thank you. We appreciate you. And yes, let's keep marching forward towards success. Shout out here to Mr. Jen Ford. Shout out as well to my own Mama Africa, Ikunda. Shout out to Umar. Thank you so much, Mr. Ndiaye, for coming tonight. We appreciate you. And Alexandrine, thank you also for coming and supporting us. We know you're not just here for your son, so we appreciate you. Our next speaker, our presenter, Mr. Zach Sidibe, and he's going to talk about how to master procrastination. So all those procrastinators in the house, please listen. Take it away, my brother.
All right, thank you. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you, Zach.
So I got an assignment, and I was so excited about the assignment. While I was in the class, and I even probably come up with how I'm gonna tackle my assignment, and I have all those ideas while I was in class, and I was so excited about it. I even went to sleep, think about it. Okay, this is how I'm gonna do it. This is how I'm gonna structure it, and this is what story I'm gonna be talking about it. And the next day I woke up and I didn't put any line. And I went to work and came back and I feel like, I was tired. I can do that probably the next day because I still have, 6 more days because there was a deadline. So I kept going, and second days, nothing, third day. And, so I got caught up, with my routine. And what I realized, like 1 hour before my speech, I haven't put anything down. I didn't know what to do. So I was looking for something that probably might make me feel good, like could be a good excuse. So if, my speech doesn't come up as the way that I wanted, maybe, I might feel good about myself. So anyway, I went and I did my speech. And of course, as you know, the result came back and the professor said, Zach, I'm gonna tell you, there's a content, but you didn't prepare for it. You were not ready. And it was right, because that was the truth. And as he was giving me all those advices, and I was, probably turning up and trying to capture at what points I did messed up. How did I put myself in that situation? And I believe that's what, people call putting off, for the next day because you feel like, you have a time. I believe that's what people call, procrastination. Putting off things intentionally. I think the word is coming from a Latin word that they call, procrastinators, which is mean belong to tomorrow. And while, I was doing my retrospection on what didn't go right, and I decided, how can I overcome that? So the first thing was making a decision. What is making a decision? Making a decision, which is mean focus on what mattered to me. Of course, we got life, we go to work, we got family, we want to do things that, we love. So we got caught up in our routine, but in our routine, what it is that really mattered to us. So that was my first, decision, make a decision. And the second thing is how I define myself. So what happened to me doesn't happen again. Defining yourself is like Tony Robbins, was saying on one of his sessions, human being absolutely believe who they are, how they define themselves. So which is mean, what is the standard, they live up for. So that was my second step. And I said, this is the kind of person that I wanted to be. The only person that, that follow through what they say, what they wanted to do. So how somebody who probably a month ago couldn't follow through, to get through an assignment, how can I make sure that it doesn't happen? Because remember, success or failure doesn't come as a giant event. It's a component of small event, like a failing, to make the call, failing to say that, I'm sorry, or as a success, failing, to have a vision. I'm sorry, as a success, it's like create your vision, or, make that vision compelling. So those are the little things that, all put together can get you, the sense of success or sense of failing. So once I define who I am, what kind of standard, so I needed to make sure, I follow through. So those little things that I needed, to work on was what we call also ritual. Ritual is what we do consistently on a daily basis that allow us, to probably back up our standard. As you can see, when people define themselves, if somebody defines themselves as an athlete, there is a muscle tone that, we can see because that's visible. When somebody said that I am an athlete, there's a muscle that, you can see. And that thing that, we're seeing, it's the work that has been done interiorly that can show it. Maybe that person is working 3 times a week or 5 times a week. So people are rewarded in public for what they're doing internally. So what I can, probably let everybody know tonight, one of the main things that, everybody can take away from this experience is to overcome, a procrastination. It's just with a small step, one step at a time, but making it the way that, making it the way that it's what defines you to be who you are, little rituals. And if we make sure to build up, the groundwork, I'm pretty sure that, it will be okay for everybody. So that's my way that, to overcome a procrastination. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. It is said procrastination is the biggest thief. So steals a lot of our time. Thank you for that great speech, Zach. Before I move forward, I just want to give a shout out to few members of the community. Charmant, shout out to Charmant here. He's part of the Health and Wellness Committee, as well as shout out to Tarsha, another cohort member from last cohort, and also Moses, powerful. Thank you, Moses, for joining us. The next speaker coming in tonight, most of our class, we always have wisdom from professor, but it's always great to have wisdom from people that's lived through experiences, and no other than Reverend Mama Melissa, the amazing philosopher, educator, Reverend, and she's gonna talk about how to build success in a how to build long-lasting legacy in a foreign country. Mama Melissa, the floor is yours. Embrace us. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. The topic in front of me tonight is building a long-lasting legacy in a foreign country. And the one tackling this topic is Reverend Melissa Rogers Malumbe, born and raised in a very poor family in East Africa, Kenya. By miraculously, somebody funded my education up to high school. In Africa or in my country, those days, when a girl is done up to high school, it was enough. You do not go further. So for me, my family, my villagers, they thought it's enough, I need to marry. I obeyed, I walked in obedience. I loved to obey my parents. So I did get married. I started raising my family at an age of 19, and I did not give up on education. I had a dream. I had seen people who succeeded. I had watched my teachers. I really wanted to be who people were. So I joined school. I started to learn to do online courses while raising my family. I graduated with the BA in business administration, and I've specialized in banking. Got my banking job. I worked 6 years and started a business, tours and travel in Nairobi City, which is our capital city in Kenya. I was the second woman in that city to start that kind of business. A time came when we were to relocate to America. I sold my business and landed in landed in Colorado on a religious visa. I worked with the bank, not with the bank here. I worked with the church, and the church took care of me in every way. They provided fully, but my heart was not settled. I wasn't going to sit down and wait and just eat and feed on what they have given me. I am not that kind of person. I'm a person who wants to do something for myself. I want to get what I get with my own work, my hands. So I started again to think. I read someday that your decisions determine your destiny. I began to think about my destiny. I talked about my destiny. I dreamt it. I spoke about it. I believed in it. And I sat down and said, okay, the dream of tomorrow, tomorrow's future is not in those people who don't believe in possibilities. I have to believe that all things are possible. And I have to forget about what I passed through. I had passed through some experiences in this city already because my color, my accent betrayed me and I couldn't get my banking job. I had to change careers. I had to start something different and do what I need to do. So I said, I'll forget about all the failures, faults, and fears that I passed through, and I will start something. I will embrace the opportunities that I see in this country. So much opportunity, much more than Africa. And therefore, I began to want to learn. I wanted to understand about the systems in this country. I wanted to understand how they do their things in this country. I wanted to understand the difference in culture, between my culture and their culture. And I went back to school again, graduated with BA in health and also biblical studies. Started working. I do work still in the health departments, but I started to work and I still had a dream. Even though my biblical studies gave me a lot of status, I am serving on executive boards of many Christian organizations. I travel a lot to go and speak in conferences, but my dream was not realized yet until I became a CEO of FBS, Freedom Business Solution. The Freedom Business Solution is a school that teaches in everything about health. And I was and I'm still so proud of this organization, this firm, because it has created a platform for immigrants. When they come in, I pick them up and I'm training them to find a way of starting life in this place. It has also created jobs for people, especially my own African people and other immigrants. Tonight, I want to pass this knowledge, this power, because I can't talk about everything tonight. The time is too short. But I want to let those that are listening to me, I talk to my children too, and their children. I talk to my friends, and I tell them knowledge is power. There is no age in education. Knowledge is power. Go for it, acquire it, get skills, and that is what I want to transfer to everyone tonight. Get your skills, go and get successful knowledge. It does not come just when you are seated there. It does not come when you are satisfied with a paycheck every month. That knowledge, power will not come. You have to be determined, you have to be consistent, you have to be courageous, you have to be persistent, you have to want to do it, and you have to plan on it. I know that you can do it. Everyone that listens to me tonight, you can do it. Do not give up. Do not throw the towel and say, okay, I'll just do this and that's enough for me. No, you can do it. All things are possible. Go for what you need to do. And if possible, become an owner of your own thing. I haven't arrived yet. I am still going. So I told you that age is not going to deprive me of what I need to be in this world while I'm alive. Thank you.
That's right, Mama Melissa. Age is just but a number. Thank you so much for really encouraging us to build a legacy while in a foreign country. We appreciate you. Shout out to Ms. Tanya Mitchell, all the way from Tennessee. We appreciate you being here. Our next speaker is a rising star in the Aurora area. He is my own brother. I like to call him by his pet name, Tubalami. But let me introduce you to Tatenda Mushiriri. And his topic is why should we invest in good education? Take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ann. It's always hard to come after Reverend Mama Lisa. I don't know how I can do that. But anyways, I'm just so humbled to be here today. And my name is Tatenda Blessing Muchiriri. I was born in Zimbabwe and I have 4 big brothers. So I come from a big family of boys. But one thing that I remember very well is how my mom instilled in us the power of education, the love to read, the love to just go to school and learn. So I'm here today to share with you all the importance of investing in good education, and education that is the foundation of all knowledge, early childhood education. I believe that setting up a strong foundation for our children will set them up for success. If we strongly believe that children are the hope for the future, then we need to create schools, learning environments where they can learn, where they can thrive, and they're able to realize their dreams. I remember very well the great Nelson Mandela speaking on education. He said, if you want to see the true soul of the nation, you need to look at how they treat children. So we need there to invest in our children. We need schools that focuses on their culture, on their lived experiences, so that they can grow and achieve their dreams. My parents, especially my mother, she was a stay-at-home mom, but she knew the importance of education. She taught us to read and write. I remember very well growing up being told that you have to be a teacher or you have to be a nurse. She herself, she grew up at a time, like what Mama Lisa said, in Zimbabwe, where women were not supposed to go to school. They were supposed to be a good wife, raise kids, but she wanted what she could not have for herself, for her children. So yeah, I went on to be a teacher, and fortunately my other brother was able to be a nurse. And she likes to share this story with a friend that we are living her dreams. I share this story to emphasize the importance of good education, why we need to start with language at home. We need to teach our children to know who they are, what they can be, once they have that confidence. And we know that with early child education, the focus is on their social well-being, because we need to create a foundation where they can go to school to ask questions, to question what they're learning, so that they can set themselves up for success when they go to elementary, middle school, high school, college, whatever success means in your family or for them. In conclusion, I cannot say enough how important it is to invest in our young children in early childhood education, but I think our former US First Lady, Michelle Barack Obama, said it very clear. Take a good education and make a nation that has endless possibility. We need to give our children good education. We need them to make a nation where there are endless opportunities. Thank you.
Powerful, Tatenda. Yeah, that's so beautiful. That topic is so dear to my heart. As someone who's the education coordinator here at the African Leadership Group, we need you guys more than ever, especially parents, community members, to invest in our kids' education. If you have time, visit our website. We've wrote articles about what's happening, especially during this time with COVID and a lot of changes. And that equity gap is widening within our children are falling behind. And we need you guys more than ever to get engaged and be parents that are engaged in their kids' education. We need you, and we rely on you guys. And please, if you have any questions concerning education, please visit our website at uslg.org and see what we've been doing. And we'd love to have volunteers, community members, and really push the agenda in investing in our kids. Please do so. And thank you to Tenda for bringing that up.
I want to add a line very quick, Uzi, for everybody to know. Tatenda is working on opening his own school, and if anybody is interested in supporting him and learning more, please reach out. And he want to do that for our community. He want to do that for our children. So this topic suited him extremely well. That's why I wanted to bring that to everybody's knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatenda. As we continue, we have, again, stay tuned. We have two more left. Next, we have the beautiful queen, Mama Africa herself. Look at how she's dressed already. She's ready to go with her African clothing. I'm just like, okay, you're buzzing on and everything. All right. I'm going to introduce Mama Kajatu, and she's going to be talking about how we lead matters.
Hi, everyone. Today, my topic is how we lead matters. Like we have that proverb in my country, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. This proverb spread an important message. When you are a leader, you have to know you are part of the team. And you are part of the team. Leadership involves just than telling people what to do. It consists of equal part, example, and support. In our life, we all have that person who completely changed the way of our living. Who completely changed the way of our living. It could be a teacher, a parent, or a boss. These are great examples of leadership. If they make enough impact in your life, then they were a great leader. For me, that was my mom. My mom is a strong woman who raised not only her own children, but any other children she saw was in need of a family. I have 5 brothers. Whenever one of their friends needed help, housing, she was there. I was the only girl, but she never showed me that my gender was a barrier. I am a woman today because of my mom. I thank God every day for her. The most simple thing I want you to know today is anybody can be a leader. However, to be a leader, an effective leader, a life-changing leader is all in your method of leadership. First, let's start identify a life-changing leader. Then we will talk about how they reproduce and improve their method. Lastly, we will talk about the result of an effective leader. Get started. Let's start it and let's look at the leader who changed in our life. For me, that is my mom. My mom was a social worker who worked with children who has been abandoned or orphaned. When there was no place for these children to go, she would invite them in our home. Although we didn't have a match, but she invested in us, not discriminating between us and the children she worked with. She preached kindness and equity, then put them into action. My mother's message is something I carry with me every day. I saw her method of leadership, not only on us but any other children she helped in over lifetime. I teach my kids to be kind and then make sure I put them into action. When they don't need something, we donate them. If they want to volunteer someplace, we go. If they want to protest of a cause they believe in, I let them. The support part of being a leader are mean life acting of people ideas, showing them ways to put your method into action. Action speaks louder than word. Anybody can tell you to be kind, but if they are not kind, that means their words are just empty and useless. Now that we have a thought of the people who inspired us, let's look at that person, use them as a template. We want to be a life-changing leader, but we also want to be ourselves. My mom was a strong leader, but very conservative. I strive to lead like her, but this time with an open mind to different things. There is always room to improve. If you want your followers to respect you, they must see on you are willing to improve with them. When you are an effective leader, people are willing to listen to you and do what you want. An effective leader grows with their followers. A good leader built a strong base, work for a good of everybody. We lead matters. How we lead matters. Our method of leadership determines our progress. Thanks everybody for listening. Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, Hadiatu Dia. We appreciate you. And thank you for reminding us about the importance of leadership, or how we lead and how it matters. Next is Mr. Bamba Diop. Please take it away. Before you, though, I want to give a shout out to Madam Bilo Mbai. Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate your presence. Go ahead, Bamba.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bamba. We can hear you well.
Okay, so I don't see myself as I thought something is going on. Good evening. I have a question for you guys. Is knowledge power? If you do believe that knowledge is power, please raise your hand. Let me explain you. Knowledge is not power. It's a potential power. I was brought up to believe that knowledge is a storage information in your brain. It will not empower you if you don't apply it. Basically, knowledge is an application. You have to apply it so that you can empower yourself. Knowledge without action is useless. I have been empowering myself to maximize my talent, sharpen my skills, and increase my income by just applying knowledge. For example, I was one of the top bankers when I used to work in the retail banking, not just in my branch, but I was one of the best in the entire district. I have a proven track record of sales, getting promoted every year and even in 6 months. I have accepted 6 different positions in less than 5 years. I was competitive because I applied what I learned from Papa and Majama. If I didn't have the knowledge or utilize my knowledge, I could have been just an average banker. I even help coaching the other bankers to become productive by just sharing the same information that I have. If I haven't used what I have been taught, I'm not sure if I will be a business banker today, moving millions of dollars every day. I saw some of my colleagues struggling and desperate to reach their sales goals. It was not because they did not have the knowledge to close a deal, but they failed to use what they know. While they have all the resources and support they needed to succeed, they have been well-trained and knowledgeable about banking products. All they have to do is to utilize their resources or even the knowledge. Instead, they did not. In conclusion, is knowledge power? No, knowledge is not power. It's a potential power. It's an application, and it will not empower you if you don't apply it in your daily basis. Thank you very much.
Woo! Woo, so beautiful and precise and to the point. But I'm proud. Baba, that was a beautiful speech. That was an amazing speech. Like he said, knowledge is not power, but applied knowledge is power. That is beautiful. You have to apply the knowledge for you to able that power. Thank you. That was wonderful. You guys have been with us for this ride. We got a few more coming. It's almost finished. And as you guys heard, some beautiful stories, motivational speeches, powerful stories tonight. And we'll continue to share. And last but not least, the beautiful and the queen, Cassandra Johnson. And she's going to be talking about the secret of law of attraction. And take it over, Cassandra.
Thank you. Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Perfect. Well, I just want to say hello to everyone. Welcome to our midterm presentations, and thank you for being here this evening. I want to thank my mom and my two children, Reese and Arrington, for being here and supporting me as well. The secret of the law of attraction. What does that mean? What is the first thing that comes to mind? You may be asking, Cassandra, does that mean physical attraction? No, what I'm speaking about this evening is the ability to attract into our lives whatever it is we are focusing on. Have you heard the expression, you are what you eat? You will see the difference between eating processed fatty foods versus lean meats, fruits, and veggies, right? Well, the same goes for our minds. You are what you think. Focus on good and positive things or focus on negativity. Either way, you get back exactly what you put out there. You know, I remember when I was in the 4th grade, I was being so excited for field day at school. And what field day basically is, it's just when kids compete in different activities and then awarded a ribbon based upon their efforts. And I can tell you it's much different, you know, from the field day of today's kids where everyone just gets a certificate for showing up. We actually picked our teams. We coordinated our outfits. We practiced. I mean, it was such a big deal, or at least it was to me. I remember being on the last leg of the relay race and envisioned myself crossing the finish line like I was in the Olympics, just going in slow motion. Like I could literally just feel the wind in my hair. I heard the crowd cheering and I envisioned myself crossing that finish line. So yes, I made up my mind we would win and it happened. But unfortunately, as we become adults, we forget how to dream and we give our attention, and our attention is often random. It's important to become deliberate in what we think and feel. Every individual has the power to consciously and intentionally create a better life. Let's talk about the 3 steps using the law of attraction. Number 1, ask the universe what you want. Become more deliberate about what you feel and think. Number 2, believe that you'll get what you want and then take action. Decide with conviction that what you want will absolutely happen and then do something about it. Number 3, receive it. Allow what you are asking for into your life. The law of attraction can be utilized to manifest many areas of life, including love, relationships, money, wealth, to improve mental, physical health, success, and abundance. Some tips for letting the law of attraction work are being aware of your thoughts, dream big, use positive affirmations, clarify your dreams, and use a vision board. As with everything, this takes practice and time. However, the more you put a conscious effort into attracting what you want, the easier it will become. Make sure you are continuously sending out energy, thoughts, and feelings that resonate what you want to be, do, and experience. Remember, if you don't like the picture, change it. Life is a blank canvas of possibility. You are in control of what the finished picture could look like. Thank you.
I'm bowing, Cassandra.
Yes, that was amazing.
Bowing.
Thank you so beautifully by reminding us how important it is to stay positive and to know the law of attraction when you want good things to happen to you. Thank you. Now I want to invite our beloved professor to take us home.
Dr. Ann, I don't know where to start tonight because it has been purely magical. You know, for the people, for the guests who are attending today, they might be wondering, why are we so excited? It's because they do not have anything to compare it to. We were here in the beginning when it all started. Some of us right here, the participants, they were not able to utter a word in front of people. When they're doing something like this, of course, it brings joy and excitement to us. And somebody's already laughing because she knows that I'm talking about her, or she's one of the people that I'm talking about. Sister Khadija was like, I mean, that was just, today I could not recognize her at all. Because if I was giving really an award of the most structured speech, it would be a tie between you and Cassandra. I like when people structure it and give us points to follow. It makes it so easy to go along. You know, I'm not really putting down any speech tonight because they were all phenomenal. The reason why we were excited again is because in our minds, we were comparing everybody who spoke tonight, we were comparing them on the first, with the first night or with the first speech they gave. That's the reason why no matter how little, and this is how we empower ourselves. I think I cannot stop before thanking again Mr. Evans, because he paved the way. He started so beautifully with his story, showing us that, hey, it is possible. Of yes, we can. There is absolutely nothing we cannot do, have, or be if we really put our mind into it. They say, ask and you shall receive. But sometimes the receiving is the problem. We ask and we do not believe that we can get it, let alone being open to receive it. But tonight, I think everybody showed us, hey, we are one body. As Busso would have it in her show, we are one crew. If we come together, boy, the sky is not even the limit, because what we can do is limitless. This is midterms, and everybody acted like it was the day of graduation. Then I am starting to wonder, what will we do on graduation? You guys brought the house down tonight. I mean, I am at a loss for words. You know, in the very beginning, I was starting to say that it was a competition, class 6, class 7, class 8. But I think I'll let Papa be the judge tonight to tell me if whether or not this was not the best class ever. I can say those words again. I've said it so many times, but the people, some of you attended before and you were here tonight. I would say Cassandra is the Tasha of session 7. Whenever they speak, there is always a wisdom emanating from their words. Cassandra ended by saying, the world is an empty canvas of possibilities. Can we write that down? You know, we started the very first class by saying, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. I think all of you will probably agree with me tonight that we have changed the way we were looking at public speaking, and public speaking has changed to us, because it is nothing that having a conversation with your friend, giving them advice, giving them knowledge, sharing with them what you know. This is what we do here. You know, I was always teasing Papa that he could not speak without mentioning 2 words, community and impact. And what I'm saying is, it's all about adding values on people's life. And that's where the impact will come in. So guys, I will stop there. I have my notes. As you know, I would not say that everything was perfect. There are some things that we will discuss in class. I already have the notes ready. Next time we'll go through them one by one, but just as a way of improving, because we do believe that there is always room for improvement. I would say that perfection is God's domain. It is not ours, but excellence is within us. It is within our realm, and we can always achieve it. As artists in our own lives, we should always autograph our work with excellence. So until next time, thank you so very much again, and particularly the 40+ guests who came and supported us. Today is the day or some time that you could have spent anywhere else, but you chose it to be with us. So thank you so very much again.
You are one crew, or you are the enemy of one crew.
Wow, powerful, powerful, powerful. And I don't know if you guys remember when we started the first class, the topic.
Uzi, you can open everybody's mic. We need to.
Uzi, I think that line, you are one crew or the enemy of one crew. If you want to know about it, please
Make sure everybody's mic is open.
watch that thing. What's the name of it? The 100. It is your show on Netflix. We've been watching it as a family, and it was just phenomenal. That's where the line comes from. You are one crew or you are the enemy of one crew. So
Amadou, you're supposed to unmute everybody. Now you muted everybody. Amadou, you muted everybody.
No, but yeah, I just gave everybody back the right to unmute themselves. So everybody can unmute themselves.
Can everybody unmute themselves? Yes.
I gotta say something real quick.
All right.
Before we wrap up here, let me just tell you guys.
Butterfly was in the house. Butterfly.
I love you guys. You know, one of my goals is I think it's really important that as cohorts, whether it's 1 through 7, 8, until infinity and beyond, one of my goals is to teach you guys that it is okay to give feedback in real time. And sometimes you have to be able to multi-focus while listening and demonstrating that you've comprehended and understood the information being sent. So that's why I do what I do, because I'm y'all's cheerleader for life.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We saw the notes.
Uzi, go ahead for the communion.
I just want to start off by saying thank you to all you guys for being present and staying and listening to these beautiful stories. As you guys see, 2020 has been difficult for a lot of us. We've had to adjust in different ways, and it's no different here at LG. This class used to be in person. We will have it in person. We'll have the midterms. People will come to a venue that we have it at, and it's just be amazing to see the crowd. And for us to really navigate this year through virtual classes and virtual events, it's been amazing for you guys to respond to the pivot we took this year. And for you guys, I just want to say thank you again for adjusting with us. It's been a tough year for all of us, and we'll continue to progress coming into next year. And as you guys, some of you guys already have goals. Start right now. If you read the book Think and Grow Rich, you will already have started your 2021 goals already.
Hey.
What we usually say, I usually say here is what is said here stays here, what is learned here leaves here. So I want you guys to take that, what you learned here, and share it around the community. And anything you learn about education, about knowledge, about experiences, share that with others. And that's what we do here. We share, we pay it forward. We want to make a bigger impact around us and around our communities. And for that, it starts with us to share the information we have, the knowledge we have, and the knowledge we seek to bring to our communities. And we're planning for 2021. We already started planning here at the African Leadership Group. As you can see, we have upcoming events here. We're just kicking off running. We're always moving fast here. As you guys know, we're starting out with our first event coming on January 13, 2021. It's the Homeowners and Financial Workshop, and that's from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. As many of you guys know, everything has moved virtual, and this is in a virtual event. One of our missions is really to professionally integrate here. And if you wanna be part of this community, you have to own something. And owning starts with being a homeowner. And come learn from our experts. We have credit analysts, we have bankers, we have real estate agents coming. So look out for that. There'll be a flyer, and I'll send it out. And also, we have the legal clinic. This happens every Monday, every third Monday of the. And it's a free legal clinic that we offer. We have lawyers coming in. If you have any issues going on or any legal issues or matters, we have experts that will sit with you privately one-on-one to talk about any matters you have. And they'll recommend any lawyers that they have as well. And that again is every third Monday of the month, and that's from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Moving on, as well, a lot of us have goals as entrepreneurs, as business owners, and we want to grow. And with that, we have the business committee doing a business workshop, and anybody in the plans of their goals for the 2021 year is to start a business. It's a great opportunity for you to come to this class and learn and hear from experts from the field. And that again is going to be January 28th. I said 2020 here, but 2021.
No more 2020, no.
That's from 6 p.m. to 7:30. And again, these are all virtual workshops. We have experts coming in, and I highly recommend if you know anybody that's going through something, or anybody that needs this, that have a goal of opening business, recommend them to come. As community, we're growing and we're a family here. And if you have family, you got to share that knowledge, like I said. And I want to just thank you guys again for riding with us through this year, and continue to ride with us 2021. We got big plans for LG, and Africa Impact is already in the works. So look forward to that. And Papa, you have anything you want to add?
No, I just want to finish by expressing gratitude. And guys, can you believe this was just a midterm celebration, not graduation?
Wow.
Midterm, like meaning they are just halfway through the class, and everybody was blown away. But honestly, I want to thank all the guests. We know spending 2.5 hours sitting through Zoom, but kudos to all the students, because your presentation was captivating, and that's how they sat through it. If it was boring, they would be checking out. But you guys have done an amazing job. So anybody that you know might benefit from this public speaking class, send them to Uzi, send them to Dr. N, as we are really getting ready and preparing for the next class and taking application. So we want to thank you all for spending time with us. And this is the resume of the program. We know we have some people on the East Coast. It's late, but thank you. And we'll be looking forward to have you guys back for graduate. So thank you, everybody, and have a good night.
I just have one thing
That's wonderful.
And it's really important, you guys, and it has to do with the upcoming homeowner workshop. Right now, if you go to the CHFA, C-H-F-A, the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority workshop, normally they have a first-time home buyer class. It's normally $100 and $50 each additional buyer. Right now, it's free. And the thing is, you finish the course, you can get help buying a house if you have a 620 and 1,000 down. So I'll give that information to Uzi so that he can disseminate it, and maybe everyone can have that course done. I just completed it last night, and then we can all buy some property and build a village.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it.
You have something to say, right?
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Happy New
Good night,
Year.
everyone. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Yes, Happy New Year to you all. Thank you.
Be safe.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
everybody.
Professor, this is the best class ever.
Oh, okay. There you have it. That was not me, guys. Okay.
Even go there.
Everybody who attended before, it was not me. It's Papa. So thank you.
Dr. Ed, I'm sorry.
I can hear you in Senegal. Say it again.
Guys, I am sorry. This is the most well-attended class. It felt like graduation. I mean, and we got people from out of state, people worldwide. Come on. Best class. But this is what Majama texted me to say on his behalf, just for you. He texted
Professor.
Are you serious?
He sent me a text. Can you say this on my behalf? I said, I got you.
The man is only telling the truth.
But
I support that 100%,
hey.
Papa.
You know, Herman is here, Tasha is here. I saw Velva earlier. So all of those, I don't want them to be enemies to me, okay? So I'm not saying it. I cannot call it midway. We need to wait until everything is over.
Yep.
That's right.
And I will muster the courage and then say it once for all when it is like that. But for now, hey, let's just wait.
No, you can say it's the best class so far. And then you can upgrade later. I'm just saying.
Okay. You are so smart. Maybe I'll use your word. So far, okay. Let's get it easy. It is a good class so far.
Okay.
Okay.
I live with that.
Okay.
Ibrahim, thank you for joining.
Thank you so much again.
I know, Ibrahim, you're going to be writing articles.
Yes.